Alright, Akim Ariel back at you with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Shai, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and rise up, the house of David is rising, through the hopeful year of all the prophecies coming to pass. And we want to take a look at some of the travels and journeys of Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians 11, bring out some of the bullet points. So the subheading is Paul defends his apostleship. Paul defends his apostleship. So let's go down to the verse I'm looking for, is 24 of 2 Corinthians 11. It says, of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes save one. I just wanted to come in on that and isolate the 5 times received 40 stripes save one. So that's 39 stripes. Just want to make a correction what I said. One of my videos I said 49, but I try to be as precise as I can. Now I know it was 39. I looked at it, and as a matter of fact, I've done a little bit of research, because the question is, why was it not 40? Why was it 39? Why not 40? See? So let's go now and check that out. I looked it up. All I did was tap in 2 Corinthians 11:24, get for the Bible commentary, and here's the answer. And it gives you some good footnotes. You can go and look at that. Yeah, like I say, I'm just challenging myself at the beginning of the week. There's a lot going on regarding current events, the times we're living in, prophecies. But I usually get into certain words at the beginning of the week to get the week rolling. And so here it is. The chapter, we've got Deuteronomy chapter 24. The question is, why was Apostle Paul, which I know a lot of brothers know, but it was mentioned also at the live camp by the apostles. So I knew the answer, but I really wanted to do my own research for the sake of anybody who may benefit from me just doing this research, and also, like I say, challenging myself, going against, and just any excuse to look into some blue letter and words. Now it says, Deuteronomy 25:3 says, ordains that no one shall be beaten more than 40 times. There's the answer there. In order therefore not to exceed the law by possible miscounting only 9 and 30 strokes. So that's 39. It says it it says it back to front here. So not to exceed the law by possible miscounting only 39 strokes were commonly given under the latter administration of the Jewish, right, and the rabbinical passages. So here's some of the footnotes there that you can go and look at that. All the footnotes there. So there you have it, man. And let's go to the precept. Straightforward and simple and plain. If you've got questions, you can take someone's word for it, or the apostles and the elders' word for it, or you can just find out for yourself. I'm doing this really just to get the answer more in my own words, if you like. Right. Sundry laws, Deuteronomy 25:1 says, if there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judge may judge them, then they should justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and be beaten before his face according to his fault by a certain number. Yeah, what number is that? Certain number. What number is that? 25 or 3 now, 3 of 25. 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, least, and not exceed. If he should exceed and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto him. So, that would have been excessive. I'll use the word, that would have been, if you would have got, if you had exceeded 40, that would be excessive. You hear about children getting beaten excessively, and the law over, even in this country, is that law would be child abuse. If you beat your child, go excessive about it, child abuse. And that's not an overstatement. But you see, this was an act of mercy, not to exceed 40 stripes and that's our law. Yeah, that's even in our law. 40 stripes he may give him, right, by a certain number. Yeah, beating, go back to 25 and 2, because I'm getting it in my own mind. You see, I'm getting it in my own head. I'm imprinting it, if you like. I'm drumming it in. Yeah, drumming it in. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, yeah, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face according to his fault by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, lest if he should exceed and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother should beat him, should seem vile unto him. So you would have been an abuser, man. Just to say that. And that was our law, going back to Deuteronomy 25. Now, so this law would have came from our law. What the Romans the Romans had that themselves. You see, it ordains that no one, it says Deuteronomy 25:3, ordains that no one should be beaten more than 40 times, in order therefore not to exceed the law by possibly miscounting. Only 39 strokes were commonly given under the latter administration of the Amalekite them. See, there you have it. Now, I did the research, I have it in my own words. You might call that was a little drill that I wanted to just do. My own drill, just to get it in my own words and do my own research, which like I say, that one of the elders, apostles, mentioned it on the live stream last week. But I said, let me do that, and then let me come and correct one of the statements I made before. The statement I made before, I said 49 stripes he had, Apostle Paul. It's not 49, it's 39. So I've made that correction now, and I've drilled it in my own in my own head. So if I say it again, it will just be instinctive now, because I've done my own research. Let's carry on, because Apostle Paul never ramped, man. Apostle Paul never ramped. He was a man taught by example. He taught by one of the most powerful things to teach is by example. 25 now of 11 of 2 Corinthians 11. Thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck at night and day. I have been in the deep. Right? Now, if this was a movie on this would be one of the best movies out there. If there was a movie on Apostle Paul and the travels and the shipwreck and the challenges that he went through and he overcame them to get the word out, this would be one of the, it should be, if it wasn't one of the top movie sellers on what do you call these things, Amazon or whatever you call them, Netflix, it should be, in my opinion, right? And I'm pretty sure the brothers them agree. Right? But you know what, Apostle Paul, when he gonna get his praise and fame, man, right? I'm telling you that right now, and Yahweh Oshai in the grand finale, because they're man, they deserve it. In journeying often in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils by 9 my own countrymen. So you had to deal with them kind of challenges there. In perils by the heathens. You got your own brethren, you got your own countrymen, you got robbers, criminals you got to deal with. Telling me that man wasn't he had to be savvy, he had to be serpent like, he had to be subtle. I'm pretty sure we had to be tough. He was tough too. In perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren. Yeah. So you got to be able to have discernment. You know, Apostle Paul speaks about a lot about discernment and all the different qualities. Obviously, they would going through that is what you call a STOIC. I think I might name this video something along them lines. Apostle Paul, the original STOIC. Apostle Paul, the original STOIC, something along them lines. Carry on reading. In weariness and painfulness, in watching often, in hunger and thirst, in fasting often, in cold and nakedness. Yeah, man, all those Stoics have nothing on Apostle Paul or Yahushua. Yahushua being top man, but you see, you got a lot of other the real McCoy, right? The real role models, and just the other day I was pissed, still kind of pissed. I lost one of my selfie sticks, which it's become, you know, I use that in my ministry, you know, when I'm out there doing my walk and talks or wherever I may be. I carry it everywhere I go, so I became attached to it. I lost it. I was pissed, man. You see, but I'm just comparing my loss to Apostle Paul's, man, and you know, I don't feel so bad after doing that, even though it's a pain, you know, to lose something. When you compare what Apostle Paul went through and undergone, you see, that is why it's here, there, now, and that is why we're going through doing this video now. And also, may we pray for the Spirit to be upon us for what the things we may have to go through in due time. Yeah, the hopeful prophecies coming to pass. May the Spirit be upon us. And we got the example here, the blueprint here, Yahushua, Apostle Paul, and all the other high-level prophets, yeah, who spoke and taught. They spoke the spoke and walked the walk. Besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily. So right now I'm going to still have to do my videos, and I'm doing my video now without my favorite selfie stick, but I had to put certain other little contraptions together to do this video. So I'm learning slowly, you see. But you see, Apostle Paul's the man, you know. But besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all things. Yeah, things come upon you, you know, you overcome them and you move on to the next one. You see, this is why it's good to look at these examples here. Who is weak and I am not weak? Who is suffered? I burn not. If I must need glory, I will glory of the things which concern my infirmities. You see, you get your little you get something happen, you have to just keep moving. If you're in an army as a soldier, any one of them soldiers, something pops out, you just gotta wrap up that thing there, wrap it up and keep on moving and give praise to Yahweh Shai. You still got it. You just have to be grateful for what the Most High gives you, man, and make use of the best of what you got. This is what Apostle Paul's saying here. If I must need glory, I will glory of the things which concern my infirmities. But he knew that he can, as long as he can just carry on doing this work, man. You see, and the God of the Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which is blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not. Yeah, he knows. Don't think your sufferings, your tribulations, your pains is not going unnoticed by Yahweh Yahushua, and what you have to do and suffer loss. And I've lost a lot of but again, I can't compare, man, because when you're trying to just get a video out, what you have to go through, you know, studying that you got to do. But I don't mind. I challenge myself anyway. Yeah, the Most High, like I say, the Most High see all things, and anything you see doesn't go unnoticed, and you get rewarded anyway. Yeah, whether you're aware of it or not. The Most High has many ways. His hand is not cut short to repay you. Yeah, your work is not going unnoticed. Last one, and through a window in a basket was I led down by the wall and escaped his hands. So I'll read this one again. In Damascus, the governor under Aretas, the king, kept the city of Damascus with a garrison desirous to apprehend me. So he was, as a fugitive, he had to move around, be subtle and cautious as a serpent and harmless as a dove. He had to move around undercover, if you like. You see, maybe there was some kind of curfew, or maybe they had his poster out on as a bounty, and bounty hunters were after him, looking for this guy. There's a lot that Apostle Paul had to go through, yeah, which he didn't do nothing wrong. He was just preaching the word, getting it to his brethren, his fellow brethren. So there was a bounty out for him. Maybe there was some kind of curfew. Look out for this person, but he had his men as well, as it says here. How he got away, and through a window in a basket was I let down by the wall and escaped his hands. Yeah, man. And God, the Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which is blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not. You see, the whole of that was dramatic, but there's others too. I'm gonna hit one more, another little story here, because really, I looked at why he was smitten or striped. I'll come up with another bit of research to this one here. The answer to the question, why was he beaten 39 times? And this is what came up. In Deuteronomy 25, 1-3, as I read that earlier, stipulated 40 as a maximum number of lashes that could be given. Perhaps Paul himself had lashed Christians in this way, right? Because we know he was the instigator behind a lot of the persecution of the Christians while he was being a Pharisee, as it says there. In this way, while serving as a Pharisee before his conversation, the fact that he continued to preach the gospel to the Jewish people and submitted to the lashes in order not to be excluded from the Jewish community shows his commitment to his people, right? So he himself used to do it. He used to do the lashing. He used to hand out the punishment. But then he was on the receiving end of it when he turned around, when he converted from a Pharisee to a man of the Lord. We know about the vision that he was given on the road to Damascus. He was thrown off of his horse. He was blind, and the angel eventually told him, "This is what you ain't supposed to do. Stop persecuting me." Yahushua, that was Yahushua as an angel. Stop persecuting me. Stop persecuting my people. And he was given his assignment, and he made that conversion. But he was on the receiving end. After being the giver, dishing out the punishment, he was on the receiving end of the punishment. So he knew the law, as he was a lawyer, we know. And he gives the precept here, Romans chapters 9 and 2. Let's read that. So like I'll say, I knew the answer, but I really wanted to go through it with to whom it may concern, who may come across this video. You may know the answer or something, but when you go through it and study it for yourself, it drills it into your own mind. It becomes second nature to you. So when you just speak on it, you're speaking through you. It's almost like you've been through it. You see, you've read on it, you took time out to look into it, and now you can speak on it with more power and authority. So the solicitor for Israel, right? Let me say the word right. Solitude for Israel, if I'm pronouncing that right, if I'm not butchering it. That's the subheading. Solicitude for Israel. Right? This is the Apostle Paul. Romans 1, we're going to read a couple of verses. So I say the truth. In Yahushua Mashiach I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, reading it verbatim, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I would wish that I myself were accursed from Yahushua Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. So now that's a cut. That's a very popular precept to bring out. That's a cut to all you Christians, you replacement theologists, right? You want to say, now you're an Israelite in the spirit, and you want to just basically take away the under the carpet, remove the carpet from under the true Yasha'Allah, the people of God, the so-called black people, the children of God. That's how you want to slip yourself in there, by sleight of hand. But this is a cut to you. For I could wish that I myself were accursed from a Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. Again, he was a persecutor of his brethren, and he was dishing out punishment. But then when he was converted, he woke up, Yahushua woke him up, he was blind, and his conscience would have been weighing on him, no doubt, of what he did to the Christians. And also he was the instigator of the death of Stephen. That's in Acts. He instigated the death of Stephen, the stoning of Stephen. So that would have been weighing on his conscience. That's why he's saying these words here. Yeah? Lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I would wish that I myself were accursed for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. So there's some drama here, or we looked at some drama, the preceding verses in Corinthians, and there's a little bit more. Interesting story here, right? The injustice and the suffering that Apostle Paul had to undergo, but it was his duty, that was his priority. He felt a sense of priority, as we just looked at in Romans chapters 9. He felt compelled. And here's another one, an interesting, we go into the book of Acts, which is full of action. Like I say, Apostle Paul is the blueprint, man. A man that overcame. He walked the walk, he talked the talk, he spoke the spoke, he walked the walk. Acts 16 and 16 now, let's just read a little bit of this example too. More drama that he overcame. And it came to pass when, as we went to prayer, a certain Dasmel, possessed with a spirit of divination, so I keep on butchering that word, met us, which brought her master much gain by soothsaying. So one of those soothsayers who was earning a lot of money for her master. It carried on. The same followed Paul and us, and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High God, which show unto us the way of salvation. So she's blasting them, right? And as it carries on, and this she did many days. So she just carried on, and she just carried on. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the Spirit, I command thee in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, come out of her. And he came out that same hour. So he got pissed, man. She was doing it for 3 days, as it says there. These servants of the Most High, which show us the way of salvation. It could have been in a mocking kind of way, in a sarcastic kind of way, saying these Paul, and saying these men, the servants of the Most High God, which show unto us the way of salvation. Wherever it was, Apostle Paul didn't want her to be doing it. So he got fed up, and it's as it says there, and this she did for many days. But Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the Spirit, I command thee in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, come out of her. And it came out the same hour. And when her master saw that the hope of their gains was gone, they brought Paul and Silas and drew them unto the marketplace, unto the rulers. Right. It says there, when the master saw, see, all the money that he was making, he was probably raking it in. And so in 20 it says, and brought them to the magistrate, saying, these men, being Jews, did exceedingly trouble our city. Right? That's a lie, innit? Because all he did was he healed that woman from that demon. He told the demon to go and walk out and leave, and it left. So she was healed. But it affected his pocket, so that's why he didn't like it. And teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being. So he conjured up some kind of lie, and being Romans. So this is what happened. 22. And the multitude rose up together against them, and the magistrates rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them. So that's how I led to that precept. Again, he was beaten there again. From a man that was dishing out punishment, he was on the receiving end of punishment. So there's a lot of action in the whole of the rest of this chapter. How he was imprisoned for that injustice, that lie. He cured the woman from the demon, and the master lost. He was out of pocket because of it, so he made up that lie, and people grabbed him and put him in prison, an unjust imprisonment. So if you want to read the rest of that, the jailer converted. There's a lot. He actually gained more people by being in prison. He witnessed the people in there. A jailer was converted, and the angel came in there, the prison, and released him. And that was another powerful lesson and example there by Apostle Paul. So I just wanted to read that, or bring that out. A simple, sincere question that you may have. And if you do your own research, you end up doing a video, and you also make that thing, you drum it further into your own mind, you drill it into your own mind. So that's the point I wanted. Paul defends his apostleship, and he received those stripes there in 24. The video is made. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yeshua. 2 Corinthians 11:24. So why was Apostle Paul striped 39 times? We looked at the answer. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save 1. And we got the answer. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yeshua. Hope it was edifying to all the sincere Akim out there. Right? So Apostle Paul walked the walk and spoke the spoke, and we learn from his examples. So the story was full of action, and one of our role models, Apostle Paul, Yahweh Yahushua, and there's a lot more prophets, and he will be in the kingdom. He's gonna get the praise and fame that he deserves. Right? So I want to give our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yeshua for putting the spirit upon me to do that video. And wada, and Lord willing, if I have to go and do a little bit more, because that story is full of action on Acts 16, I can come back and do a little bit more on that, right? So it would be a part 2. So I want to say, shalom to all the sincere Akim. So on to the next.